everyone, it's Lori and Happy New Year. I have not been active on my YouTube channel for photography the majority of last year. So many of you have hung in there with me. You've enjoyed the older videos and you've left me wonderful comments. I've had several comments to talk about my workflow and process. So I just shot some images. I have just started the import process and thought I would take you along. I hope this is helpful. Continue to let me know videos that you'd like to see. I would like to try to do a couple a month this year. I'm not going to commit to every week, but a couple a month I think is reasonable. So I just, I'm in Lightroom. I just went to my SD card, which is untitled, and all my images are checked. Now, what I prefer to do is actually import all of them. So I do not cull my images at this phase. They're just too small, the thumbnails. I just prefer to click save. I can choose a folder. So you want to be sure you choose a folder to tell it where to put your images. I'm not sure why my folder isn't showing up, but I'm going to go ahead and we'll select that together. I already have a file for 2026 images. So we're going to click open. So now we've got that where it's going to save it, and we're going to save 100 items. So we'll let that process. Now what I do is I usually continue doing other work on my computer, and once all the images have showed up, which I'm not sure why they're not coming in, we'll give it just a minute. It says it's saving 0 of 100. So it's going to take a few minutes. They are large files, and I have some other things running on my computer like recording. So I'm going to pause. I'll be right back, and we will talk about how I cull my images. Okay, so almost all the images have loaded, and usually if I'm impatient, I will start looking at them. Now, I want to first preface by I was shooting an amaryllis flower that I grew this winter, and it's also uploading some videos, and that's probably what's going to take the longest. I don't need it to upload those, but that's okay. I did some of the amaryllis with intentional camera movement. I did some in a Pep Ventosa style. If you're not familiar with his work, I'll link another video below. And I shot some just of the flowers with kind of the center and the pollen coming out. So we've got a mix of images. So what I'm going to do is right now, these are just in a folder, 2026. And I would create other folders in here, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so in order to cull, what I like to do is I go through and I give all my images a rating. And the way I do it is I give the flag, which is the checkbox. Now, I do not reject images because I sometimes use them for teaching moments. So I don't make a habit of rejecting. If you don't like to keep images that you know you're never going to use, then you could click the X to reject. But I go through and use the checkbox. That lets me know, and then I can sort that I want to edit the image. So this image, I really love the movement I was able to get, and I like it's the entire flower. I've got some lens cleanup I need to do, but otherwise I think it's a pretty good image. So I'm going to click check. And I just start going through pretty quick. So this one, I'm not feeling it. It's okay. It does have a little more detail maybe than the other. It's not bad, but I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Now I was hand holding these and just doing some movement. This one, I like the multiple. It almost looks like a multiple exposure. You've got two stems. I'm going to go ahead and check box it. It's not going to hurt to go back and look at it a second time. This one, I don't think is as good as the first. You can always go backwards. Yeah, I like that one so much better. So anyway, I'm just going to keep going through these. So I just go through and decide. Now we're going to get some different ones. I'm not liking that. When you do intentional camera movement, you just take your chances of what you're going to get. This one is very abstract and interesting. I'm going to just leave it. I might can work with it. That one, I love the petals. Now you can see my sensor needs to be cleaned, but there is a new feature in Lightroom that does it really quick for you. So I'm just going to keep going through these. Now, what I do once I finish is I'm then going to go to the edited images. So if we go through, let's just do a few more together. I don't know that any of these are going to work. Now, a lot of people use color coding. They use numbers. I use those, but I use them in a different way. So I prefer to first do the checkbox. All right, so I think you get the idea. Now, there are a ton more for me to review, but for now, what we're going to do is go up to filter in your search icon, and we are going to mark the checkbox. So what that's going to do is it's going to give you all images that you have checked. And from here, you can enlarge your thumbnails if you want down at the bottom so that you can see your images. What this also does is it really helps you if you have two of a similar image. You can also go to side by side. So let's select this image. And drag the second one over. There we go. So now we can see these together. We can really zoom in to see what we like, what we don't like. I really love the movement in this. It looks super multiplied. I like the stem being a little bit blurred, but that's something I can do in post-processing. So in this case, I may decide to go ahead and edit this one. I like the 3 flowers. I like that it looks like a multiple exposure. So that would be my thought process. Now, I could go ahead and reject the other one, but I like to leave it in case I wanted to use some of it. And then I would just start doing my editing. So I would go through and let's say this guy, which is the cleanest image that I took, I would do some masking and clean it up. Now, once I was finished, I have a couple options. Some people like to star their image once it's edited. So sometimes I'll do a 5-star. Now, if I am editing hundreds of images, let's say when I got back from Yosemite, I had over 100 that I had flagged. So as I edited them, if I loved it, I went ahead and gave it a 5-star. That way, when I'm done, I can actually select the 5-star plus the checkbox, and I have all of those edited favorite images that I can then move to a folder. So every year, I'm going to come in right now, and I'm going to create a folder in my 2026 images, and it's going to say 2026. Well, actually, I put edited first, 2026. So what I do is after I edit the image, I move it to my edited folder. That way it's there. I can either export it if I need to use it for social media or my website, or I can just leave it sitting in edited. That also helps me know what's been edited, what hasn't. And then I really don't have to do the 5-star method. The only time I use 5-star or a color, some people like the colors, again, is if you have hundreds of images and you are trying to see what you've edited, what you've worked with, you could maybe do a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Now, if you are shooting an event like a wedding or a family and you want to put the children's images, maybe assign them a color, the adults a color, the before the wedding, the after the wedding, some people like to use the color system. So that is an option. You can also do culling scores. So this is where Lightroom will actually do some things for you. Now, I personally do not like this. I like to cull my own images, but if you were having a ton of images and let's say there were people in them, you could definitely try this for eyes open, eyes focus. It's just going to remove those photos where they're not so that you don't have them. So that is one thing you can do. Exposure issues. I personally, sometimes I underexpose, sometimes I overexpose, so I would not use that. But again, if you were doing landscapes and you knew you mistakenly overexposed a bunch and you just want to go ahead and mark that option, you could go to culling scores and let it take those out for you. It's going to do it automatically. All right, so the way I keep my files, I used to do images by month, and I think I'm going to go back to doing that. I started it in 2025. You can see I have January right here, but I didn't keep up with it through the year. So I'm going to try to go back to that because that is the best method for me. So I'm going to create another folder, and it's just going to say January. Now, what I can do is, let's say for some reason I don't get to shoot a lot in January. I could go ahead and hyphenate this and do January through March, or whatever the case is. So even after, I'm not sure why it doesn't like that, January 26th. So even after you've created a name, you can come in, click the 2 dots, and you can rename it. So no harm in that, but at least now I've got it started. Now, I should have done that when I imported these, but I can just scoot all these images over. Not a problem. I can just drag them into that folder. All right, I hope this was helpful for those of you that asked for it. It is my simple process. I absolutely love to keep things simple with my photography. I think when it gets too complicated, we lose track. We give up easily. It seems too challenging. So keep it simple. You've got your 5-star system. You've got the checkbox. You've got the X box. And then you've got your color codes and all your folders. If you have questions, leave me a comment. And again, please let me know what type of editing photography videos you'd love to see this year. Thanks so much, everybody. Happy New Year.